Firstly, it's great to be at Republic of Gamers Masters. It's a fairly unique event in that it's grassroots, it's amateurs, it's semi-professionals, it's professionals. So you get to see maybe some of the superstars of tomorrow in eSports, which we often don't get to see when we do all these big events. It's great to do great big events in stadiums, and you see players playing at a high level. But what I don't get to see often is players coming through, and developing and becoming the next Simple or the next Puppy or the next Dendy or whatever. So these tournaments are really important for that because we start to see those people shining. Is it difficult to do CS and Dota at the same time? No, I don't think so. I think it's just a little bit more preparation. It takes a little bit longer because it's two games, but I know both games pretty well. I know both scenes very well. And as a host, it's more about, it's a different set of skills as a host, on stage. If I was doing desk and I was doing desk for both, that would be a challenge because then you've got statistics and you've got storylines and there's so much production involved and you've got to do two games and there's different sets of teams and sometimes there is the same team name on both games and then, that can get very tricky. But I think as a stage host, no, it's fine. I've not been to Malaysia to do an eSports event before, but I've been here on holiday a little bit. I found it very warming. For a Brit, it's actually quite unusual because everything's in English. Everyone speaks English, and even the plugs are exactly the same as they are in England, which I think is weird because it's the only other place I think is Hong Kong where our plugs actually fit. So I feel kind of weirdly at home here in Malaysia, and the people, as I said, they're very warm, very friendly. I had my birthday yesterday, which I think I celebrate my birthday in various parts of the world, but never at home, usually in a plane somewhere over the Atlantic. So it was quite nice to be able to go out with Zoe and Gareth and Toby and Lumi yesterday, and we just had some fun. They got me a cake, which was quite nice, and just enjoy it in Malaysia. And they were very kind to us, took us around and did lots of tourist stuff yesterday and went to the Petronas Towers and had lots of different Malay food. So yeah, it was really, really cool. I try not to have favourites in tournaments too much because I think it's dangerous to have bias as a journalist or as a broadcaster. But I think that sometimes you can't help enjoying a team more than another one, whether it's because they play better or they've got great personalities. So I think for me, in the CS, I'm just looking to see who does well and who might be able to bridge the gap to the next level, so maybe they can get through the major qualifiers and get to a major. So from that point of view, I'm looking at Mongols. I think they're probably head and shoulders the best team in CS here. For Dota, it's more difficult because we've got a couple of outstanding teams. From a world point of view, we've got Secret here obviously as well. Fnatic are out now, but they were here originally as well. And then on top of that, you've got Execration. So they're the ones that I'm looking at more than anyone else because I sort of said I think they deserve to be a major invite. They got a major invite. People gave me a load of crap for it afterwards and said, "You're wrong! How dare you say Execration deserve an invite?" And so this is really a chance for them to come out and say, actually, we are the best team in Asia right now, or in Southeast Asia, and they've got a chance to prove that over this weekend. So I'm really looking at them to perform, and so far they've done really well. I think it's an interesting concept, this particular event, because it's maybe not focusing on the big tournaments that we've had in the past, ESL, Intel Extreme Masters, MLG Columbus, all these big master majors things, the Valve majors and what have you. The biggest question we've got in esports to answer right now, in my opinion, is where does the next set of talent come from? How do we allow them and empower them to go to the next level? And the only way you're going to do that is by giving them experience of something similar. So these kind of tournaments are really important, in my opinion, to make sure that you allow the grassroots, the casuals, the amateurs, the semi-professionals to come and experience the same thing that the pros do, so they get experience from it. It's the old question of, I want to do this job, but I'm not allowed to do this job because I don't have any experience. But if I don't have any experience, how am I supposed to get the job? It's the catch-22 situation. And this solves that. So the fact that ASUS have announced that they want to take it global, they want to go bigger, they want to take it around the world, I think is fantastic. For me, I'm a big fan of African esports. I've been a big supporter of it this year. They're in a very similar position to Australia and New Zealand and Southeast Asia in many respects, in that they're geographically challenged and they're not getting opportunities to go abroad and show people what they can do. Same in South America right now, other than maybe Peru in Dota and Brazil in CS. When do we hear about an Argentinian esports team or a Uruguayan esports team or a Chilean esports team? And I want to see these. If we're going to be truly a global sport and taken seriously as a global entity, we have to involve all regions and all continents. So if ASUS are going to spread this out, I would welcome that.